Okay, can you leave? Fine. Thanks.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another edition of the QSC Play Out Loud. We've got the ladies in the building today, which I'm super excited about. And I love how what you guys don't know behind the scenes and what happens. It's like there's this little behind the scenes message chat and there's a countdown before we go live, and DJ Jess is back here being like, oh my god, this gives me anxiety, like what do I do with my hands? And I'm back here thinking, honestly, same, like what do I do with my face? What do I say when we go live? It's like, I mean, it's like we're in our bedrooms but like we're live, so it's like anyways. What's up, ladies?
Here we are.
Hey.
I miss your faces. I love that, you know, we can at least get to catch up on these things. And you guys have so many exciting things going on in your life. I've been watching you and I would love for you to share with our listeners today. So let me take it over to Pittsburgh. DJ Jess, what's up? What's good? And also, don't tell me you don't know, because I've been following. I've been seeing what you got going on, girl.
A whole lot of weddings is what I have going on. You've probably been watching the gig logs that I've been making. So yeah, I've been crushing it here in Pittsburgh. So happy to be off the virtual performances. Not knocking anybody who does them, but I'm so happy to be back in person. Doing all of these unique and creative weddings. And so that's been life for the past 2 months. And then right now I have a little bit of a break. I just have a private pool party to DJ in a couple weeks. And then the female DJ retreat at the end of the month. And then the expo that I'm speaking at in August. So lots of good things I look forward to.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All good vibes. And my marathon sister over here, Valentina, just crushed a freaking marathon. I'm like, wait, what? And like, stop it right now, because like, in addition to crushing this marathon, then you went and crushed a wedding. Like, how many steps did you get in your Fitbit that day? What's going on, girl?
Honestly, I'm still trying to catch up on all of it. So I don't even remember, because at the end of the day, I was so exhausted. I'm still kind of catching up on it. So I don't even remember, but it was a lot.
I am so proud of you. Unbelievable. I don't even know what is involved in a marathon, but I am very intimidated and I'm very proud of you at the same time.
Good times, girl. Literally, I had one day to prepare, and I wasn't even prepared. It was more of like eating the right things. But it was amazing. I wouldn't change it for the world. It was an amazing experience. Definitely sisterhood came into play. It was awesome. So you girls should get into it. It was incredible.
I absolutely love it. And then over in California on the West Coast, we've got DJ BSelecta on the live today.
What's up?
What I really, really love, you guys, is that, like, you know, even though all four of us are across the U.S. and on different points of the world, and we do different things in our career, there's a couple things that align us, and it's all our belief in like work-life balance. And there's some sort of like, you know, come back to our roots, like exercising, health, whatever, that I think helps us rejuvenate. So like, B, you're killing it over there. Like, if you guys aren't following her right now, you need to, because she does these amazing cycle classes where like she's literally DJing live. They're outdoors. Like, it's insane. Tell us.
It's the coolest thing. It really is the coolest thing. I want to like bring you all here so you can do it with me, because it's fantastic. But yeah, it's called Pedal Spin Studios. I've talked about it before. But we're doing all these outdoor rides because of the pandemic. They moved their entire studio outside, which gave them more space. So literally 45 to 50 bicycles out there, spread out. It's not cramped, you know, we're under the stars. And I just get up, and we just on Monday did a ride with myself DJing the ride, and then we had 2 lead instructors on the bikes in front of me, and then 40 people taking the class, and QSC actually came and took some photos, so I get to share with you what I do. But it really is, it's community, it's health, it's beats, it's fantastic. I'm so thankful. But I really want you guys to come.
I'm amazed. So like in the next couple weeks, we'll see that drip out on your social media. So we should all go follow you right now.
Please follow me right now. I did a little, the photographer did a little sneaky peeky peek today. So I reposted that. And actually, so really quick, ladies, a girlfriend of mine made me, okay, so I turned 40 2 weeks ago. It was my birthday.
Oh, birthday.
And, a girlfriend of mine, her husband does exterior signs. And I want you guys to really think about this. He does exterior signs for businesses, right? Well, they built me a custom BSelecta sign. Okay. It's not huge, but it's oval, and it was super light, like 3 posts. And then I plopped the sign on top and plug it in. I had this big glowing BSelecta right above my head. And let me tell you, just from the pictures, you'll see it. It might be a worthwhile investment. I don't know if anyone does this or if he just made it up for me. He might have, but holy cow, for visibility, like we have our laptops, but dude, up above your head in lights for mobile gigs when you're outside or whatever, I'm telling you, it was such a cool way to advertise who I was.
Wait. Was this like one of those neon signs, or like what was it?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to explain it. It was kind of like a container, like it was thick.
Is that the video?
No, that's a different class though. That's a different class. It was like a thick, I can't even explain it, dude. It was like 10 inches thick and then just a big oval. So the glow came from inside, and then he cut out BSelecta. You'll see it in the pictures.
Okay.
You'll see it in the pictures.
Is it on your feed or on your story?
It's on my story right now.
Okay.
It's on my story right now. Such a great way to advertise yourself in a small way. Yeah, that's it. That's the sign. How can you not see, like, of everything you see the sign?
I'm trying.
Oh my God, that looks so cool.
Of all the feedback I got, that sign was the number one conversation. It was like, this is so dope. This is so highly recommend.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so clean looking too. Like I thought it was. You can't even tell it's neon. Like neon.
It's not, I don't even know if it's neon. I don't know what. It's not letters in neon. It's cut out and it glows from behind. But really I'm telling you, it's a really cool way to market in a confined space. But to light it up like that, I highly recommend reaching out to some of the corporate sign companies in your area that do like the businesses and seeing if they can match that, because it is. Yeah. It was awesome. And hi to the whole chat. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Casey here. What's up, Michelle? Victor, Lenning, Riley. Hey. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Okay, so kind of cool thing for me. I just got back from a 7-day vacation in the Florida Keys. And I'm so excited to say that, yes, I'm still riding my bike every single day. I have not missed a day. And total, I was there between the 7 days. I rode 94.77 miles. It was the most beautiful miles ever. Love.
My gosh.
Isn't that amazing? It's incredible, right? Like that's far.
Just so you know.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I mean, and I was so thankful because like the Keys, they have, like riding trails, but like they stop at certain points. And so where our resort was, there was at least like a good like span of 5 miles, south and 3 miles north that I could at least kind of get in 10 to 17 miles a day. Oh my God, it was amazing. Aw, hey Maroon, what's up? Love all the way from India. I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. The other cool thing that I saw was one of the things that I really love to do. I love water. I love wind. I love the outdoors and all those things. So anytime we went to find a place to eat or like sit and drink, obviously we'd look for outdoors. We'd look for some sort of live musician, right? And so I'm really proud to say that as I was paying attention to the sound systems they used and what they were using to set up, there was a massive quality difference in the live musicians who used QSC speakers and those who didn't. And I was I obviously know that QSC is an amazing brand and they create a superior product, but like, I guess for me, I've never been in an environment where I wasn't working. And as a consumer, I really heard the difference when it wasn't DJing. So like, kudos, blown away, absolutely blown away.
Agreed, Kristin. They're superior. It's obvious.
Amen. Love you. Shout out to QSC.
The omnidirectional ones are what really make a difference, especially if you're in an outside venue, because it just hits every spot so clean. There's no like gap of sound, you know? And that's the biggest thing with outside shows.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is that like, you know, when I'm listening to a live musician, I want to hear and I really want to feel all of it. I want to hear the highs, I want to feel the lows, like, and I feel like for those who didn't use QSC, they're really, I was like, why are you even using a speaker? Like, just play acoustic, bro.
That should be the slogan. QSC, pick that up.
Why? I mean, there you go, people. You heard it first.
I like it. It's real.
I love it. So sure. I want to talk to you guys, you know, about kind of recharging, because obviously, like, I just came out of this vacation. We kind of went through like a mini little busy season, maybe. For Florida, we're starting to slow down a little bit, and obviously in fall, everything gets crazy. So I want to talk a little bit about like how do we recharge our batteries as performers and as talent before we go into any of our busy seasons. So who wants to jump in and talk first? Actually, I'm going to throw it over to Jess because you have a lot of recharging on your calendar and you've got the retreat coming up. So, like, jump in, girl.
Yeah, so I just made a post about this, and it was not to knock any DJ that has a full calendar. I made that very evident in my post because I am not one to pass judgment or to look down on anybody. It was just like that inspired me, but I think it's amazing. So for me, now, first of all, it has to be what works for you, right? Like we all have different things that lift us up and recharge us. This is just what works for me. Whenever I see that there is a month on my calendar during wedding season in Pittsburgh is about, I'd say, April through November. Whenever I see a month is not filling up, and for some reason it's always July, I just block off that month because I can't keep working. You know, it's just like this vicious cycle, well, a beautiful cycle, but it's just too much for me to handle. So I blocked off July, and then I just fill it up with things that I know make me happy, like being in the woods, being outdoors, being by water. My family and I just got a cabin at a mountain resort called Seven Springs, which is about an hour north, Riley, correct me if I'm wrong, an hour north of Pittsburgh, and just spent so much time outside. And then I'm going to be getting Reiki done, which is energy work, kind of like a massage, but with energy. It really helps me to calm down whenever I'm overstimulated or have been working a lot. So I'll be doing that. And just planning all of my favorite things like eating sushi and taking naps. It's just whatever makes me feel good and it slows down my brain. Because when I'm working and doing all those weddings on top of sustaining my business and nurturing it to the point where I want it to be, my mind is just on overdrive and I have to ground. So I'm going to be doing that next year and the year after and the year after. Whatever month proves to be slow, block it off.
I love that. I do a little bit of that too. I think, you know, it's interesting because, you know, one of the biggest projects that I've had on my plate is kind of reorganizing what I want our DJ Rocks to look like moving forward. And actually Chris and Dawson High said this to me is like, you know, and it really stuck, is that like, I want better, I don't want bigger. And so kind of looking at, you know, what does our team look like? What do our schedules look like? Where do we need to focus? Where do we push forward? And part of that process was me kind of looking at things and being like, I mean, some of this we have no control over. So like for us, especially in Orlando, Florida, our busy season starts in October and we don't have a breath of air to breathe until about April. So I almost find that like my recharging has to be a little bit different in the busy season where it's maybe not a whole month I can take, but maybe it's like, okay, I have to schedule like, you know, a massage every 30 days on a Friday, because I only have 1 hour a month to myself. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that balance. So I do want to talk a little bit about that as well. Valentina, why don't we jump over to you? Talk to us about, recharging coming up on a busy season, and then maybe some of the things that you do during a busy season, even to balance and make sure that you're your best for your clients and your family.
Yeah, I mean, I think every time you talk about balance, it's always like a very difficult thing. It's always been a difficult thing for me. But, I have learned that absolutely we need to take time away from life itself, people. What we do for a living, it requires so much of our time and so much of our energy. So in order to be fully there and fully present, we need to find ways to take that downtime and come back and regroup and recharge in order to give that back to everyone else. So for me, after a weekend of events, I literally don't talk to anyone for at least a couple of days. And I'm like a hermit, and I'm home, and I'm just kind of chilling out, doing really pretty much nothing. Eating, relaxing, recharging. And part of that, is also saying no to gigs. At one point, I think you hit the nail on the head about, something along the lines of quality versus quantity. I think something like that. And it really is true. At one point, it was about the numbers, how many events I had per year. But right now, I've learned that quantity is not what I'm looking after, and it's not really necessarily a healthy thing. It's more quality. And so, with that being said, one of the ways that I'm taking care of myself is to charge a little bit more so that I can receive less rent, but they're quality events, and I have more time to myself, and I'm healthier in the end, and I have enough energy to give to my family and to my clients.
Yep. I agree. That's exactly, I don't want to but that's exactly what I did, Valentina, is I figured out a number of how many gigs I think I can handle per month without being overly taxed, because I want to say yes to everything and they sound good. But then on the flip side, my kids are the ones that I am like, okay, but mommy's busy and I can deal with this later. And if I don't overwhelm myself, then I can be present for both. So I actually set myself a gig cap. And once I hit that, I'm booked for the month. I'm done. And it's a personal choice, but Jess, I loved your calendar. I loved that post. I love that you showed the world, because you're thinking, okay, these are all of her gigs, and the other things you put on there were, if not equally more important than the gigs you were doing. So I thought that was such a brilliant way to state how important balance is. I'm so proud of all of us for not jumping back into the pool and losing everything we learned this last year and a half about how much we need to invest in ourselves and our time. Really proud of us.
So much during the pandemic. I think one of the biggest things that many of us got is how simple life can be and how beautiful it is to not overwhelm yourself with so much. And in the end, I'm actually really scared to go back to the way I was, the lifestyle I had prior to the pandemic. So I feel like I found peace. Finally, I found peace, and I just don't want to lose myself in the midst of chaos again. So I think that's why I'm a little bit more hesitant to take on too much as well. So yeah, wish me luck.
I found peace. I love that, Valentina.
You got it.
Okay, and I'll just go ahead and jump on the train of what B said, Jess, about your post. You were like, I'm going to go get some sushi or something bomb, I think is what you said.
Good.
I was like, wait, okay, so what's your favorite sushi, though? Because I love sushi.
Oh, girl, I don't even know the name. I mean, the dragon roll is dope. Spider roll is a classic. But then if they got that stuff with mango on it, I'm all about that too. So just anything that I haven't had before that is creative.
Okay, what is the one sushi where as soon as you see the one ingredient, you're not eating it? You're tapping out?
Nothing.
None.
Yeah. How about you guys?
That's crawling and moving.
Yeah?
Me too. Can't do it.
Oh.
I'll have an avocado roll and that's about it.
I love
eel. Oh my God, Riley said eel. Okay, funny thing, I don't know if I've ever eaten the actual eel, but I like eel sauce. I love eel sauce.
I didn't know there was eel sauce.
There is, and I don't even know if it's from a real eel. If there is, please don't tell me, because it's literally just like a little brown sauce, and it tastes so good.
Like oyster sauce.
Like I don't know, but don't tell me if it actually comes from the eel itself.
I don't think it does. Tempura yam, add some lemon and some special sauce.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yam.
she said it's a texture thing with eel. Oh God. Okay. No. I can't. I don't want to.
No eel.
Oh man. Okay, so speaking of kind of recharging, at the same time, even when we have like our downtime moments and like, you know, I'm on my bike rides and like, you know, Jess is in the woods and, you know, Valentina's killing, you know, marathons and things like that. We still have to take care of our clients. We have to nurture them. So like from the client side, I want to chat with you guys and maybe like give our viewers a couple of little golden nuggets on what you do and what you've implemented in your business to keep your clients engaged during the process, because it's a whirlwind, right? As soon as they book, they're like, oh my God, I got all my vendors, and like there's all this excitement, and then like there's however long it takes to get to the event, whether it's, you know, a corporate event and they booked a couple weeks out or a month or 2 months, or it's a wedding and they booked like a year out. So nuggets and like, what are you doing to keep your clients engaged? I'll go ahead and start while you guys are kind of thinking.
Yeah, you do this.
And I kind of I'm going to jump all over the place. So one of the things that I really love doing is just showing my clients that I'm a real person, because sometimes I don't always get to meet them in person. So I love, and there's no rhyme or reason, there's no automated, there's not a drip. It's, you know, usually within like 2 weeks of the wedding. Usually it's the week of the wedding. I'm sitting down and I'm kind of prepping once again for their music. I'll just grab my phone in whatever state is happening in front of me. Sometimes no makeup, hair, hot mess express, whatever. And I'm like, hey girl, hey, I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you. I'm working on your music. I'm so excited. And I just, it's just a cute little message. I do it in a text. It's a video. I hit send. So
That's
obviously
awesome.
that's like the week of, but that's like kind of one of the things we do. Kind of in general, I always love sending out, you know, playlist inspiration to our wedding couples, obviously for any of the milestones leading up, and it sends them to their Spotify just so they can get like re-engaged. And those are a couple things. So let me throw it over to Valentina first. Give us like maybe 1 or 2 nuggets of like, what do you do to kind of nurture that relationship and keep your clients engaged?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely better at it than I am for sure. I feel like with me, I don't really, my brain ticks differently, and I don't deal with things until they're literally right on top of me. So my way of doing it, I have, I guess, 2 different ways. One is my Instagram. So early on in the booking process, right off the bat, they know to follow me on Instagram to get information and just to kind of like inspiration and see other weddings coming up. So that's one way they can kind of like get to see what I'm about and stay in touch that way. And they're interacting with me via the stories. That's sort of like an ongoing process throughout the entire planning process. The next thing is I do have the automated, and it's well thought out. I know many people are anti the automated process of the planning, but really I think about mine really well and then put it into words and have it so that it saves me time and also my clients time in the process of it all. So like literally they book, after so many days, this gets sent out. And there's really no question as to what's going to be happening next. They already know what's in front of them, what to anticipate. And that's my way of, I guess, nurturing. But you seem to do a hell of a lot better job than I do, Kristin.
No, I think we all have our own things. And I really love the Instagram thing. That's one of the things that we do too. And I love it because then I can feel like I'm really connecting not only 4 milestone kind of thingies where it's like 6 months out, 3 months out. Okay, week of, I'm thinking about you. But like we literally get to know each other because I am watching their journey. I can heart eye what's going on. Like they can send me a DM being like, oh my God. And it's kind of cute because it really gets them excited. And, you know, one of my brides, oh my God, I love her. I've known her since before she booked me, but Emily and Dwayne, they're getting married in November. And one of the videos that I just posted, it's a cute little promo video of me DJing. She reshared it and was like, oh my God, obsessed. Can't wait for you to do my wedding. So I think social media is a really great way to do that, even if that's the only thing we do, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Jess, what you got? What you got? What you got?
Well, this is actually priority on my to-do list right now, is working out a system of nurturing clients, because I just never slowed down enough before to do it. I was constantly in motion. And, you know, over the pandemic and the change, it allowed me to sit and think what I want to do differently. And this is one of them. So I have been diving into my management system, which is Tave, to create automations basically for other things, like linking them to Bible and once they book, and the retainer emails, the reminder to book a meeting, like all that stuff. And I am going to create a basic automation drip system for them. But on top of that, I want to intentionally make a time where I sit down and email them about something else too, like write it out, you know? I just thought of that now. But like Valentina, by the way, who crushes Instagram, seriously, like the queen of Instagram, I can't even handle it. You do so well on there. You know, I'm like all about that right now. So I use social media. Facebook, I friend request all of my couples. I know that some may not do that, and that's totally fine. This is what works for me. I like to see the couples that use Facebook, what they're doing, what's going on in their lives, if they're buying a house, you know, if they're planning for something, and then I comment on those when they come up in my feed. If the couple uses Instagram, I'll engage with them on there. Like today I posted a review, or it was yesterday in my stories, and one of my brides is like, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm like, hell yeah, you know? So social media for sure, but this is something that I need to get more focused on and accomplish. And I'm on the 30-day goal list for that. So ask me again in 30 days.
Get it, girl. Get it.
Yeah.
Get it, Jess.
I love
fun.
that.
I like this part of owning a business, seeing how creative you can get with like old systems, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have an automated system. I don't do like a ton of weddings a year. I do a lot of corporate stuff. So, but what I can say that you guys haven't already said, but kind of echoed, is it really is about maintaining beyond that business relationship, whatever it is you do, whether it's the IG post or anything like that. I really do think that however it's comfortable for you to bridge that gap so that it's beyond a business relationship, that's always worked well for me, whether it's my corporate clients or my wedding clients. With my wedding clients, my biggest thing that I do for them and myself is I call it like a discovery call, but I really literally sit there for like 2.5 hours with them. We talk about everything, and I really want to get to know them, and I want them to get to know me. And I find that after that meeting, the relationship has changed. Mm-hmm. We have crossed the bridge. We are now officially homies. I'm invested. They can tell. And then we're good. And then I set up reminders to reconvene, you know, every so often, and so on and so forth. And then with my corporate clients, I just make sure to, like I said before, just do something that takes that relationship beyond strictly business. And that is gold.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I do, corporate, it's a lot harder because it's like, I'm not going to send, you know, this DMC a 5 email drip of like cutesy wedding songs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So those are, I think for corporate, for me, if there's anything I can kind of add to that, is it really is kind of like, I want to say sporadic a little bit. I do my best to go to like the local networking events, and like, if I see someone and then maybe a song makes me think of them, I'll be like, just like, you know, sometimes I'll text you guys, or I know I sent it to you when I'm on my bike rides. I'm like, oh my God, you have to play this song for cycle class. Like I'll send them music, or like I'll send them a mix, you know, just to kind of like, you know, be sharing music or things like that, because even they're in the corporate world, but they go out and ride bikes and they exercise and they do that. So maybe we should be incorporating more of that, even if it's automated or if it's not automated, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just anything to take it beyond the business parts.
Yeah.
It just levels up that relationship. And when you have a great relationship with them, they trust you, they're excited about you, they're going to call you for their next gig, you know, show up, be on time, be early, don't miss an email, all that kind of stuff, so that they know, okay, when I book Kristin, everything's going to be handled, and I love her. So you're locked in forever after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you guys this: Oh, go ahead, Valentina.
I was just going to say, like, not to mention that when you're there, you're also more comfortable and able to perform at your best because you have that rapport already built with them.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
I agree. So let me ask you guys this. So when it comes to music and music sharing and things like this, do you guys have any sort of kind of game plan or like goal set for like a number of mixes or mini mixes you want to create every year? I know, Jess, that's literally my face, and that's why I'm asking.
Nothing, man. For some reason, that's on the back burner. I really should be putting out mixes. I need to write that down for like a 60-day goal. I'm not doing it. I don't know what my deal is.
You're busy.
It takes time, you know. Like honestly, if we recorded in Serato our mixes, if we made it a point to do that, I think that would actually be really the way of going about it. Because outside of that, you know, especially those with children, like you have business to run, you have children to run, and then you have to come home, set up the equipment, and put so much time and energy into what you think you're going to mix and actually through it, and if you mess up twice redoing it, that's a lot. So that's a whole day's work, I think, for me.
Guy, I'm gonna tell you, my thing with mixes is that I feel like I overthink everything. I overthink it so hard. Like on my phone, I could pull up my notes. I have like 4 mixes that in my head, I'm like, this would be a cool mix, and here's the song lineup. And then I'll go to record it or do it, and I'm like, well, wait, but then someone's going to think that that's the only time I play that song, or like, why are you playing that song? And then like, but if I'm in a real live environment, would I ever do that? And then are they going to judge me for that and then not book me for that? And then I'm like, F it, I'm not doing this effing mix now.
Can I speak on that a little bit, Kristin?
Yes, please.
Do the mix. I was just like that girl. I was so, even with Twitch, I was like, I can't do Twitch. This is live. There's 1,000 DJs watching. Everyone's going to judge me. I'm not good enough to be on Twitch with these people. And a long time ago, a DJ told me, like, don't ever play for DJs unless you have like all your stuff together, because everyone's going to hate on you. And I held on to that. And as much as I love that person, that wasn't good advice, I don't think, at all, because it gave me like super anxiety. So recently, well, in the pandemic, I said, screw it. And I made mixes. I did one-time flies through them. And if it wasn't perfect, whatever, people love the mixes. So, and they were not perfect. There were some issues. Another thing I did, here's another tip. I would just, because it does take a lot of time, I would do it. If I made a mistake, I would stop everything. There would be a pause in the waveform, and I would play the song again that I wanted to mix into. And so that's a way to kind of do a one through and kind of fix your mistakes. Do you know what I'm saying? So you record it once, and if you screw up, just hold it for a second, start the track again that you were mixing into, and try the transition again. And when you go back, all you have to do is cut and slide it over, and you've edited out that, yeah. So it does not have to be perfect, and people aren't going to judge you. And if they do, like, bye. Because I'm sure you have great mixes to share with the world.
Well,
and people love them.
People are like, oh, you always have to be in phrase. And I'm like, okay, while I definitely agree with that, there are some times, and like I did a tropical house mix where I'm like, F this phrasing. I want to like play the song out just a little bit longer, or I want to hear this, instrumental breakdown. And like, DJ laws say you're not supposed to do it, but like Kristin's vibe laws say I'm fucking doing it.
Dude, Kristin's vibe laws.
Follow it.
Kristin, you're absolutely right. I think often, it's not always the case that you have to go by lyrics. I think feeling is more important than anything. Like if it feels right and it works and it jives and it comes together really well, I think really that's key after all. I'm not saying like, go over each lyric every single time, but it goes by what you're feeling. Like if you feel right, you're in the zone, you're aligned properly with what you're playing, and it jives and it flows. I think ultimately that's really more important.
Yeah. And sometimes I want a quick mix and I want to like, phrase. And sometimes I just want to let it ride because like, I love this song, man.
Let it go, man. Yep. Haven't you been there when the DJ cuts the song off too early and you're like, oh, but the second verse is so good.
We're all guilty.
No more rules. The only one who knows the DJ rules are the DJs anyway, and most of your people want to hear what you have to play. So
Yes, Michelle, it's your own unique style and art form.
I agree, Michelle. I agree.
yeah.
So FYI, anyone watching, don't at us if sometimes you hear that we're quick mixing or we're in phrase or we let it ride or whatever. You don't know the vibe. And if you need to know the vibe, DM us and we'll tell you what vibe we were going for.
Michelle said, I let it run because I'm DJ Run That. That's awesome.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Girl.
Branding.
Aw. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what's next, guys? So let's go back to kind of client services a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about those mixes because I kind of got sidetracked for a little bit. So the mixes that I did create, every time I created them, I would send them to a corporate contact and be like, hey, check this out, or, you know, things like that. One of the other things that I did with the mixes is I added them with a little bitty image into my media kit, obviously, because I think everyone already does this, but just kind of update people on that. And then I also stick them in my link in bio. So like, you know, Jess, maybe you may have already do this or whatever, but like when you're making a post, be like, hey, check my link in bio, you know, latest mix if you want to vibe to like tropical house vibes.
Yeah, for sure. LinkedIn bio is really, really good for that. You're talking about the link tree that you can use in Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instagram blocked my
I
link
haven't
tree.
even mixed on there recently, but I definitely have some Spotify playlists that I've curated.
Yeah.
That
those
works
are good too. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah, I went hard on the Spotify playlist, girl, and it was great content to post.
custom mixes, I'll have my Mixcloud link to it though, but there's nothing new. And I wanted to ask you guys too, do you have like obviously I know the answer to this question. Do you have your decks still set up somewhere where you can get to them like in your home? Because I don't anymore. I used to when I was virtual DJing, but
during the pandemic, I definitely did. But since everything got crazy, it's just so much work to lug it, unpack it, put it back in the car. It's just with everything else, uploading and this and that. No.
Yeah, right. I know. Mine got broken down too. Kristin, do you still have yours up at your home, or is it just like in your office at Our DJ Rocks, like a setup? Your decks. Speaker?
So in my home studio right here, I have like a big long desk that I'm sitting at, and to the right of me, I have an SX2. So like if I want to play or, you know, whatever, I'll spin over here, and then I keep one set up at the office sometimes, you know, randomly. I'm talking like so random, we'll go live. But yeah, I mean,
I feel like I'd be more apt to mix and lay down mixes if it was somewhere where I could just be like, oh, here it is, let's go, you know? Like it's in my basement studio right now, but that's where I perform. That's like what this is about, but it still works. I just feel like if I had what I need for a home setup, and then like I've always thought I wanted to put it upstairs, like right where I can see it when I'm like walking past it all the time, that maybe I would be more prone to lay down mixes. I think
you would, and I think you should. I think if you can make it work, I think that it has motivated me, even though I don't throw down mixes and I don't produce them weekly, monthly, even quarterly. It definitely motivates me because it's already here. Because when I do get inspired, I don't have to like lug all my equipment. It's not like a 30-minute setup type thing. It's here. I throw the laptop on. I go. You know.
So Riley James McKelvey, he's in the audience watching. Set it up for me, please, would you?
Love you. Get a second system. You know, like they have, like even the you know, we don't have all of the effects. Excuse my little in the background, but we don't have all of the effects, you know, that we need perhaps in the second smaller system. But at least you have something that's there. Even like with one of the smaller QSC speakers to have a backup inside the house, so that way, you know, it's there, it's set up. This is like your, you know, put in your dungeon, have it there ready to go. You know what I mean?
That's a great idea. I'm all about it.
And really quickly, just JSG in the building just added Solo. So you know how you guys were talking about Linktree, which I loved and loved. So he actually introduced me to Solo, which is similar, but like has so many other additional features that you guys can add in there.
I'm looking at it right now.
That's the one that I use. I love that one because I just love the way it looks from a visual standpoint.
solo.to.
Yep.
Nice. Thank you, JSG and
Yes.
Valentina. Oh yeah, that's sick. It's like a website, but not.
Where are you looking right now, Jess?
Instagram, that link that's on there. Solo.to. Yeah, I got you.
Very cool. You can have so many different things. But anyway, it's Kristin. You already use this. You know what that's all about. You love it.
I do. I love it. Jess, if you want to see how I use mine, you can go on my Instagram, and my link in bio says meetkristin.info, and that goes right to my Solo 2 account.
Okay. Awesome, guys.
Yes.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Okay, so I want to kind of circle back to the beginning. For those of you just joining us, we're talking all about like recharging and taking care of our clients while we're recharging. And one of the coolest things that all of us kind of share is like our love for health and wellness and making sure we take care of ourselves so we could take care of others. And BSelecta is just killing it over in California with these like outdoor bike rides. So I think I have some pictures or videos to share with you guys.
Gosh.
I want you to check this out. That like bomb. First of all, before we whatever, let me just keep going. So actually, let me give this to Brandy. Brandy, why don't you explain this?
Well, basically, A, check the sign. B, I'm just essentially on the stage. I've got 2 lead instructors in front of me, and then they're actually looking out at 40 other riders right now on the bike. So I DJ, and they follow my cues. I build the class. They follow my cues. We've been riding together for a long time. Yeah. And it's such a vibe, you guys. Like, it is so much fun. I wish you could see the video. People go so hard. The music is loud. QSC, that particular ride came out. And like you said, Kristin, so this particular studio, all in-house was QSC, but they got like a temporary system for outside, which was not QSC. When they came to do the photos, QSC changed all the speakers out. Holy cow, what a difference with the sound and the extra sub. The 18s are everything. And it was just amazing. So it's such a vibe. And it does help that I teach spin classes. There is a way to DJ for fitness, and it's not, there's different rules, there's different things to think about. So because I teach the classes, I understand that there's got to kind of be a flow. But man, I cannot wait to get you ladies there. It is such a dope experience, and it's just such a vibe. Such a vibe.
What kind of music are you playing? Like, give me an example of a song or two that you would play for that.
Totally. So I love hip hop music, right? So I play a lot of remixes. So when you're spinning for when you're DJing for cardio, right? Spin classes, I switch my BPM. So I'll play like a dangerous remix by Busta Rhymes that lives in like the 125 to 135 BPMs. That's a great zone. Then I take it to the 88s, 89s with some Lil Wayne. I play heavy hip hop music. I'll play Busta. I'll play KRS-One. Then I'll throw it back with some 90s R&B. I did a remix of I Just Want to Love You by Jay-Z. So lots of remixes. But the gamut you can play, especially with spin, you can hit all different kinds of BPMs, the 70s, the 80s, 100s, and then the 125 plus. And that works for all different kinds of movements. So stuff that amps you up, but even, you know what, I'll even play like an old school 90s R&B song, like Don't Walk Away.
Oh my God, that's my jam. There's an EDM remix of that, actually. I think.
There's so many good remixes. Yeah. Yes, so many. But I'm telling you, like once they've heard a lot and they're sweating and they're whatever, and you play something like that, people start singing and they just music is everything. It's
oh my God. B, do you have any of these on Spotify?
No, I don't.
So that means I'm literally going to have to gas up the jet and fly to California to like take one of your classes. Cause
You really do. But the problem with Spotify is that a lot of them are remixes that I found that they don't have them on Spotify. And I tried to do my playlist on SoundCloud because everybody's like, what I do have are mixes on SoundCloud with that music that I've made. But like half of them SoundCloud took off for copyright. So, but I have a whole workout playlist on SoundCloud. Check it out, loves. There is lots of great cardio stuff that you guys can use as inspiration if you start doing fitness stuff or cardio stuff, or even just to ride your bike outside.
Yeah, if anyone watching has access to a PJ and they want to come to Orlando and then Rhode Island and then Pittsburgh and then fly us across the U.S. to California to go experience these spin classes with the most amazing spin DJ on the entire planet,
Oh my god.
hit us up.
Those are the best.
Hit us up in the comments, y'all.
Or let's get a local spin studio in Florida and I'll fly out there and we'll do it there.
Can we? Oh my God.
We'll do it for our DJ Rocks. I'll rock for our DJ Rocks. I'll
Wait,
represent
how do we
you.
do that?
Do that.
Okay, ask your spin studio if they know any spin studios in Orlando. Let's start there.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
And then we'll hit up QSC and be like, you need to make sure that the QSC speakers are there because once again, based on my experience in the Florida Keys, if you don't have QSC speakers, I don't want to listen.
That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. Just play acoustic, bro. Just play acoustic. It's fine.
I wanted to say something too. I wanted to ask you guys and anybody watching in the comments if you want to drop it too. What is your go-to song or album when you're working out? So Valentina, I think I saw that you had the AirPods in or something similar for your marathon. What were you listening to?
Yeah, like Dee said, music is literally life. And I have to say, I had an amazing coach with me every step of the way. But, music truly does play an important role in getting us through life. And for that marathon, like I said, it was literally like decided on one day prior to that half marathon. And I needed everything to get me through. So with music, I jumped around quite a bit. So I jumped around between Afro beats, which, is in my DNA. So that helps amp you up. It's important, right, Kristin?
Yes, I don't know if this one is categorized as Afro beats, but so y'all need to tell me. But I got it pulled up. I will push play on it right now. It's by an artist whose name is Mele. Have you heard of them?
Melee.
Mele.
Mel? Is it Mel? And it's called Groove Africa. Hang on.
That's kind of it. Yeah.
That's great.
I'll text it to you guys because if I literally want to go, I love that one.
Yeah, and really that's key is having music. So two things. I feel like having music like that with energy. When you don't have energy, it gives you energy, right? So
Yes.
that's one. The other thing is, like Dee said earlier, what was it? Don't walk away. Don't walk. Oh, that also, even though it's a lower tempo, it's familiar. It brings back memories. It just kind of recharges and alivens you, if that's even a word, right? So
Yeah.
It is now.
I went back and forth with a few different ones from again, the Afro to the Feel Good to, I did JSG, Jeff Scott Gould's mix on SoundCloud because he's got a lot of good stuff that really makes you feel. So yeah, no one specific song, but I did remember that the last song, my coach was pushing me through with Sia's World's Greatest, and that also has a way of bringing some feel good vibes into the body, and that got me going toward the end. But all over the spectrum.
I find that if you can get a song that matches the beat of your pace,
Yes.
even with, what I'm saying? You can go, if you can match that beat, it pushes you. So I have a whole running mix that's at a certain BPM that is a good jogging BPM and it stays there. So if the person can just stick with me, just get in that pocket and stick with me, they got 45 minutes of pace. The pacing, the BPMs, in my opinion, not everybody can get on beat, but most people want to. And when they can, it's another element that continues to allow the music to push them.
Yeah, for sure. And it varies, again, depending on where you are. Sometimes you slow down, and when you slow down, you need something to maybe slow down with you just enough, just to give you that breather. And then you're like, okay, now I need something to pick me up. Because I kept saying to, again, my girl, Louisa, okay, so change that song. So I couldn't even breathe. So it's help me out it's time to change the song. Can you pick another song? And she knew just what to hit. And again, it's just I went from being so low to now the right song came along. Kristin, I think you'd appreciate Jerusalema You girls have heard that song, right?
Oh, yes.
I don't think
That's
so.
another one that's just like gives you the vibe. So anyway, that helped just kind of pick things up when I was feeling low and just get going. So yes, music is incredible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that one when I'm done. The other one I will say is I'm like Jess. I think all of you guys are gonna appreciate this, but Jess, you asked the question, so I'm calling you out right now. I'm with Valentina on all of this, and I'm so pumped that we're having this conversation because when I was in the Keys, my playlist shifted just a little bit because of what I wanted to get out of the rides. Obviously, like, I'm watching my heart rate. I'm like, oh my God, how many miles? Blah blah blah. What is my pace? Yada yada yada. But like almost every single bike ride would start off with, and nobody at me right now because, when I was in Ohio, it was Michelle Staley, who's Josh Staley's wife. She's a photographer. Sang this on stage like a freaking angel. And I literally had tears in my eyes. And maybe it's just the point of my life that I'm in, but this song changed everything. It's called Oceans by maybe Hillstone, I think. But like, listen, y'all, I'm in the Keys and there's beautiful water on the left and the right and the wind is blowing and that song's coming on and I'm just like, I'm literally just like this. And like halfway through the song, she says like, the lyrics are just so piercing. And she says, lead me where my trust is without borders. And then it says something like, take me farther than my feet could ever wander. And I'm like, yes, that's where I want to go right now. That's where I want to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lyrics also.
I have so much love coming through the screen right now, girls.
I got goosebumps, girl. I got tons of goosebumps.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
I don't work out as much as you guys. And what up, Dawson?
What up, D?
Thanks for dropping through, man. But I do walk. That's like where I'm starting, right? It's walking. And I'll walk a little faster sometimes too. But my go-to, and this is the same go-to for me when I was working out, like running on a treadmill in my parents' house in their basement. Oh, what just happened? Are we still live? Oh, okay. Yes. My computer just like made it short. It looked weird.
We're still here, boo. We're still here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. But it's The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. It is such an amazing album because it starts off with like the bells and the talking and then it gets into it. And then before you know it, like the Great Gig in the Sky is playing and you're running and you're like, yes, queen, So you guys check that out for some like classic rock type vibes too that just builds you up and then takes you back down. It's insane. All the like different types of effects that they did when they were recording that album.
Music is everything, y'all.
Everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's important just to know, like, exactly what you do between you, Kristin, and what I just said is like, there's no like anything. There's no specific way to like. People think that, like, for example, when you run, you have to have upbeat songs on all the time. No, we all tick differently, and so when we play differently. So like when we run and do our time. There are times that we want something more upbeat, but there are times that like running, even though it's like you want that kind of adrenaline pumping, something so sweet and so down to earth could be what triggers us to get moving, motivates us to kind of like escape that body. Kristin, that song, like your mind escapes the body, so you don't even know that you're running because you're off in a different space.
I would not know that I'm running.
Me neither, girl.
You guys realize what's happening right now? Let me tell you what's happening. Like, we're talking about like using songs to manipulate how we feel when we're like exercising and whatever. But like, listen at how powerful this is if we apply this to any event that we do, whether it's a cycling event, a wedding, a corporate event. Like, music literally will change the vibe. And it's funny because I was doing a networking event. We won't say which one in case somebody in town is watching, but someone through the grapevine was like, oh, we don't really need a DJ. They're only playing like the walk-on music and, the songs when people come in. We'll just play a Spotify playlist. I was like, oh no. Kristin is sponsoring this event. Y'all gonna get vibes, okay? And I put up lights in that room. I'm like, we're going party mode when they walk in. Like, I brought the energy for all of the 15 minutes it took for them to get to their seats because It just is what it is, people.
It makes a difference, man.
Such
Big
a
difference.
And that's
Big
really,
difference.
at the end of the day, people don't realize the importance of like having a DJ, but it's just not any DJ. It's really someone who gets it. Who
Yep.
gets it. Who understands that music is music, but it's not music unless you know how to use it. And like you said, Kristin, manipulate it and make it work according to what's in front of you, right?
Correct. Oh my God, I'm gonna make you guys laugh because, okay, let's talk about health. And this wild idea popped in my head. But you know those little machines that like take the zucchini and make it into noodles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So like you can't make zoodles unless you know how to use the thingy. I don't know how to use the thingy, so I can't make zoodles.
Exactly. That's music. That's a great analogy.
I know, sorry.
But how do we get the rest of the world to understand this? Because there are some massive companies out there who don't get it, and they think that they should pay their DJs like next to nothing, you know, and it is like massively important to certain events that the DJ knows what they're doing and can make zoodles.
I have an idea. Why don't we find out who those people are and all of the programming that they're watching on TV and Netflix, just take all the songs away from them and say, how was your show?
Yeah.
Without that background song. DJ is the same thing, baby, right?
I think we got to make a push, man.
Yeah, like how do we contact Netflix and be like, this group of people doesn't think a DJ is important. We'd like for you to put out the episode with no music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah. Or the
Oh my
wrong
God.
music.
Or like, what would a horror movie be like without the horror music?
I just thought of a good idea. Okay. Sorry, real quick, you guys. What if you did a promotion, like a marketing piece that you release on Instagram or Facebook, whatever platform you want, and you take a scene and you put 2 or 3 different songs to it. One that goes off like amazingly, one that's just like completely different. You're like, how does this video make you feel? And then you put the great song, and then you're like, how does this video make you feel? And it's the same video with a different song, and you'll get that different perspective. Boom, right? Same.
Pay your DJ.
Mic drop, people. Yes, because you know what happens when Kristin watches a horror flick and I get so terrified because it's dark and I'm in my home alone and I'm like, oh my God, they're coming through every.
And it's the music.
I hit mute.
Yeah. Britney Spears onto that shit. And it's like, oh, this is great. You know,
I hit mute and I start singing the damn chicken dance or something.
We'll do that.
We do need to do a public service announcement to say you guys need to value and pay your DJs. I absolutely think so. And
Sponsored by
all the
QSC.
DJs should share it. Everybody should get on board.
Oh my God,
because we are valuable.
I'm making it tonight. Riley, you're making dinner. I'm getting into this.
Literally, guys, sponsored by QSC because without good sound and audio, it's going to sound like crap regardless.
Yeah, you can't make zoodles with crappy zucchini.
Yeah, you can't make zoodles.
We're on a roll tonight.
Bro, it's just popping off with the nuggets today, y'all. Y'all don't even know. Okay, so private chat's going on. There may or may not be a video that we need to show you guys. I have no idea what's about to pop up on the screen, but let it rip.
Oh, that's the class.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Oh my God, right behind the instructor.
That's a remix of In the Club by 50 Cent.
Yes.
Look at him go.
Now that is a class I want to be part of.
Oh, Valentina.
Yes.
Look how much fun. And it feels like you're dancing because it's to the beat.
Oh my God, it's insane.
I want you guys to come so bad. We have to make this happen somewhere.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I have another freaking announcement for you guys. So, in the state of Florida, they just announced it today. It's called Freedom Tax Week or some crap. So any tickets to a concert you buy, if you're, I don't know, in Florida, from Florida or whatever, it's tax-free on concerts right now.
Wow.
I know.
If I were to buy one from here, or no?
I don't know. I got to look up the details. So y'all don't quote me on that, but something about it's Freedom Week or something. So no tax on concerts somewhere. I don't know. Jess is already Googling. So you heard it first on QSC.
That's awesome. There's a question in the chat I saw, Kristin, that I think is good, and I'd like to know that too. It says, Greg Miller says, do we know if QFC has a line array system that is waterproof?
That's a great question.
It is.
I can ask that question, and we can get back to you on that.
Yeah, it's a good question, Greg.
Thanks for asking, Boo. Okay, so as Jess is searching for this, we'll start wrapping it up here shortly, but is there anything else you ladies want to add on recharging, taking care of clients, or making zoodles?
I guess for me, I would just say, as far as recharging goes, really the great old analogy of making sure that when you're on a plane, you take care of yourself first before you're able to take care of the next person right over to the other seat. So take care of yourself so you are well enough to give your all to your clients and to whomever else is important in your life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, amen to that one right
Amen.
there. Yep.
Amen. Okay, so to answer the question, we currently do not offer waterproof line arrays.
Notice the word currently.
Are you single? Is what they want to know.
What happened?
Right? Yeah.
Someone wants to know Kristin is single, the cute blonde with the glasses on.
I was trying to ignore that question. She's married.
Yeah. Thank you, though. That was sweet.
I love it.
Thank you. You made me blush. I appreciate it. Thanks for saying I'm cute.
You're very cute.
I love you, ladies. I love spending time with you every time we do this. You make my heart smile. QSC, thank you so much for having us. Ladies, let's go around real quick. Tell everybody who's watching where they can follow us to get all the music inspiration on the events we do, the QSC stuff we're doing, and all the work-life balance. Jess, we'll start off with you, then we'll go around.
Yeah. You got to find me on Instagram because I'm obsessed with it since I'm speaking about Instagram next month. So DJ Jess 412, follow me. I promise you that you will laugh, you will be inspired, and you'll say, oh, great. This is entertaining. I ended that really poorly. Better than that. My Instagram is better than that.
Awesome.
She's the best. Follow her on Instagram.
Thank you. I'm done.
I'm Jess and I'm done speaking. I am, so I did do the Twitch thing. I'm still doing the Twitch thing, and the Twitch thing is actually going pretty well. So every Thursday at 1:00, you can catch me live on Twitch for tea time. Tea can be whatever you'd like, but yeah, we talk about teas. Everybody drinks their tea. We talk about teas and hip hop. Yeah, so tea time on Thursdays.
That's 4 p.m. EST then, right?
That's correct, yes. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
Like, do we talk about like tea, or do we talk about the tea?
What's the tea?
What's the second tea?
It's the tea. It's the drama. What, you guys?
Oh, no, mostly it's just tea. Tea and hip hop. I play a lot of hip hop.
I'm setting a reminder now.
And reggae. I play reggae. It can be herbal tea. You can take that any way you want. So there's that. And then actually on Southern California, if you're in Southern California, I'm back in Laguna Beach at Skyloft Lounge. So I'm back there this Saturday is my first day back. So you can catch me live in Laguna at Skyloft. Or January, I've said it 3 times now, July 6th, I'm doing a back-to-back on Twitch with DJ Icy Ice. He's a legend here in California, old school hip hop DJ. So he's going to spin for 30, then I spin, and then we go back and forth on Twitch. So my Twitch life is actually okay. So find me there. Instagram is where I post about wherever I'll be. And that's it. Or here on QSC.
I love it. And right over to Rhode Island. Come on, girl. Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me here in Rhode Island. And let me see which way. Right here. You can follow me on Instagram. That's my handle. And really, that's really all I use for updating people on where I am, what I'm doing. Right now, I'm really just doing a ton of weddings. So between that and sometimes Foxwoods, which is a casino, that's where you can find me. But follow me on Instagram, and that's it. That's all I got.
I love it. And once again, guys, I am Kristin Wilson out of Orlando, Florida. You can follow me on Instagram. I always do that at Meet Kristin. I honestly, I overshare my life. So if you don't want to see absolutely everything, then don't follow me. That's fine too. But I'd love to connect with you guys and share and just build this community. And QSC, thank you so much for having us again. I love every bit of this time with you ladies. And we'll see you next time on Play Out Loud. We've got a schedule coming up. Sometimes, it's this crew. Sometimes we got another crew. Sometimes we mix up the crew. But it's always an awesome organic conversation, whether it's business, DJing, equipment, or anything in between. So thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next